Hello and welcome to another update video on SUI. The SUI chart is currently in a pullback. I'm labeling this as a B-wave pullback at the moment. Here on the smaller time frame, a potential corrective pullback as part of this diagonal pattern we've been tracking. Obviously, it remains my view that, this is, while it starts to look somewhat promising, honestly, these movements are all corrective, at least in the subwaves. We're dealing here with diagonal structures in the subwaves. It basically means that the movements that we're tracking here, the movements are all choppy. You have to expect, I would say, surprises. So don't necessarily assume that the market will just run through like that in a straight line. There will be probably some surprises along the way. That's normal in a correction, or not necessarily in a correction. That's normal, let's say, in a diagonal pattern. Now, if it's really a diagonal structure to the upside, then it's probable that wave A finished. I'm talking about wave A of 3. Wave 3 itself should get to $3.55. That's the 138% extension. That's a normal first ideal target for such a move to the upside, for such a third wave. And in the third wave, we're tracking an ABC structure. So the B-wave pullback could be unfolding right now. And it's a 3-wave move down as well. So that kind of adds weight to the idea that we could simply be in a corrective pullback in a large uptrend. The C wave to the upside would then again be a 5-wave move and should take us, ideally to $3.55. But the condition is that we're holding above $2.67. So basically, if I zoom in a little bit, you see that some kind of a pullback seems to have started. It's 3 waves down. And bear in mind that even a B wave itself should be a 3-wave move. So it might be something like A, B, C, and A, then we get B, C. This is obviously very, very fragile, everything, because we're dealing with corrective structures up and down, but I'm showing you how ideally the roadmap into the support area would look like. Now, please note that a break below $2.67 would indicate that maybe something a little bit more bearish might be playing out, that short term, we might go a little bit lower, and that short term, the price could obviously reach this zone here. There might be an A, B wave bounce, before we go down, but please be prepared for changes. Now, any break below 267 indicates the white count could take the lead. That would be a bit messy, I have to say. So in the white scenario, for example, we could be dealing with an A wave to the upside, A, B, C in B, and then we could still go higher. But that would all be just corrective mess, nothing that would really make sense in terms of trading, in my view. This would just be a very complex kind of correction. I simply have it on the chart, the white count, to suggest what might happen if we break below $2.67, because there needs to be an alternative, Now, it's also important, I think, to recognize that even if we go slightly below 267, as long as the pullback is corrective in nature, which means a 3-wave move, it could technically be a B wave, at least as long as the price holds above the invalidation point, because this is a support area. Ideally, the bulls would show up here, but they don't have to. The invalidation point is the low of the wave 2. A B wave pullback must not go below that level. So therefore, while the support area can be a guide, it's not like a make or break point. But hey, the pullback is still quite shallow. The movements to the upside are all corrective, but the pullback is all corrective. So we are using some levels and areas here to identify areas of interest in which or where the bulls could actually show up. And we might just be approaching one of them. Please also note there was a small swing low here on the 3rd of July at around 287. So that might be an additional area to watch in terms of support. That's exactly where the 38.2 retracement is located. So might very well be that a B-wave bounce starts from there. That's just a quick update on SUI. Overall, context hasn't changed. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.